Thanks, Mark. So for a lot of people, spring cleaning means spring purging, getting rid of things that aren't good for you to make room for things that are good for you. And in today's For Your Money, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Old habits that you need to toss this spring to freshen up your finances. And Jacksonville's retirement coach, Adam Wolf, is back to start the conversation. And, Adam, you're saying, and you're Jacksonville's expert on this stuff. If you're saying there's stuff that we're doing and we need to just kind of purge the old and in with the new, I've got to know what they are. And I think four biggies, right? Yeah,
so thanks for having me. And, the spring cleaning, I mean, we just had our, house pressure washed and that kind of stuff. It's just that time of year once all the pollen's gone. But there are four major things that we sort of can make mistakes on. As we get into, planning for retirement and sprucing it up and doing it once a year to make sure we have all our ducks in a row and everything's in order.
Can we get to that once a year? So should we, no matter what, even if we feel like things are just moving along fine, do this once a year?
Yeah, well, so it depends. So most people, once a year is fine to sort of put our ducks in a row. We'll get to those in here in a minute. But, if there's a life event, I work with a lady, her name's Susie, and she was widowed. And so when she became widowed, that was her person to talk to, was her husband, about finances. She doesn't have that anymore. So that could be a reason why, and specifically for her, to come in and talk with somebody and talk about finances in retirement.
Okay, so I kind of jumped ahead, didn't I? But you said once a year, and it got me thinking.
Yeah.
So the four habits, though, that we need to consider purging.
Yeah, so one of the biggest ones is, spending more than you make. And spending more than you make, that's one we've been hearing for a long time, either from our folks or, friends. Having a budget is a way to combat that. So, doing your budget yourself, especially now, as you get into retirement, even in retirement, you'll need a budget. And things change in retirement versus when you're working. Some expenses are higher, potentially taxes, also like travel, those types of things. Some things are lower from a tax or from an expense perspective as well, but making sure you write that down is a big one.
Okay, good. And I know that procrastination can be not our friend, like making that call to sit down with someone like you.
Procrastination's a big one. I mean, we have folks who call us from time to time into the office for our complimentary review, our stress test, and they'll make the appointment and then they won't follow up with the appointment. So not everybody's ready at the same time, but procrastinating on preparing for and planning your retirement, you do it once, you do it with us or any other advisor that you're working with, but get it behind you, take the procrastination away, and it speeds things up.
And then growing your money instead of just protecting your money, which is something we talk about, but let's talk about growing your money because it's not enough to just not spend it.
Yeah, as we get towards retirement and closer to retirement, maybe we're taking a lot of risk in the stock market to grow our money. Making the shift in your mindset from growing your money into successfully not running out of money or not reducing your lifestyle, that takes a different set of thinking and a different way of thinking. You still want growth in retirement, but growth expectations, if you take too much risk, you could potentially lose a lot of money, and losing a lot of money and having to make up for that loss is very, very detrimental in retirement.
And then the taxes.
Taxes are a big one as well. A lot of folks think their tax bills are going to be lower in retirement. And sometimes they are, but sometimes they're the same or higher. So if you don't have a plan for one of the largest expenses in retirement, you don't have a plan because that takes up a big chunk of the budget.
Well, let's talk about the stress test now because this is a way that people can see where they fall as it relates to all of those things. So what do folks get with a retirement portfolio stress test? And then we're going to give you a chance to get one for free.
Sure. So, they come in, they meet with us, and we're very, very, non-salesy. It's a great atmosphere. We're going to review all of your IRAs, all of your 401ks, any portfolios that you have, and we're going to look at the fees. Are you paying a high fee? Most people are paying too much in fees to whether it's their 401k plan or the financial advisor. That's the first step. We're going to give you that information. That's hard to find for the average person, but we do it. Also, we look at the risk. Sometimes when you're near retirement, you may have too much risk. And we look at the risk and make sure that your risk is matching your goals. And then we also give you a tax analysis on how your accounts are separated. And you may have IRAs that have a lot of taxes built in. that could be very detrimental in retirement. And we'll have ways to potentially tweak it.
And what we'll do right now is the first 7 qualified callers only are going to get that retirement portfolio stress test. Actually, it says on your screen the first 5. I think, well, would you do 7 for us since I made a mistake? 232-8760. 232-8760. Call right now and take advantage of that great offer from Adam. Thank you very much.
You are
Adam.
welcome.
We'll
Thank you.
See you next Monday.